Welcome to the hwhound.com WordPress site. So chances are, if you are watching this video, you are one of my new or newish writers, and so you're needing to know how to use the tools involved. And I'm going to make this video public though, because I figured, hey, it might help out some other people. So if you are not a writer for my site, that's okay. Maybe you'll find some things here that'll be helpful. So alrighty, so if you're going to start writing my site, you get logged in, you're probably going to see something similar to this. Might see something that's a little more cut down, but you'll be kind of the same general idea. The dashboard won't mean a whole lot to you, and that's not a problem. So I've only got one thing. We're just going to add a post. And so if we go to posts, we got just all of them here. I decided not to try to split this up into various different categories because ended up being more complicated than necessary. And so this ended up being a lot easier. Of course, you can do an add new, which you'll most likely do when you're adding your first article. But for now, we'll just take a look at one of my current review articles and kind of see how the whole writing process goes. So your title, of course, goes up here. Pretty straightforward. And then the body of your text goes right here. You can use the visual editor if you are a text person liking to use the HTML code. This is not the video for you. I'm only going to talk about the visual side. So everything now from here on out is going to be for SEO. We want to have good SEO. We want to rank well with Google. So all these steps are completely about just having good search engine optimization. I don't plan on trying to tell you how to do style that much. I want you to be able to have your own style just within the realms of trying to have good search engine optimization. So one of the things is the way that WordPress is organized, this title is going to be actually formatted to a heading 1. And so what search engines look for after that is subheadings beyond the main big heading. So what we're going to do for reviews here is what I like to do is heading 2. So you just go here, heading 2, and I like to bold it as well. It kind of helps it look good on the site when it's published, and it's really good for the search engine. So then after that, you go into your writing. So like this is my introduction paragraph, but I've decided to not just say introduction. But if you want to say introduction, feel free. There's nothing wrong with that. So do one paragraph in your intro and then make sure you put a insert read more tag. When you click on this insert read more tag, you'll see here that it inserts this little line. So that's the read more tag. And what that does is it stops the article here on the home page so that you have to click continue reading. So it keeps our home page nice and clean and you can see the variety of articles, but you don't have to do some crazy adding a snippet preview or anything like that. You just put that read more tag in and then the format will be perfect. Then I've got my quote here for a company about their statement. If you want to do a quote, all you have to do is click on this little block quote here and it'll put whatever statement you have in block quotes. Then bam, getting to the next section, got our heading 2, bold, paragraph. Typically they want around roughly 150 to 300 words between headings. So if you've got more than a certain number of words, it might tell you, hey, you should split that up and put an additional subheading in between there. We'll show you where it says that here in just a second. So that's the writing format. Now let's talk about pictures. So for starters, what you're going to want to do is you want to upload your media files. Now the maximum size that my site's going to allow you to upload is going to be a 4K image. So I do allow 4K resolution, but I've got a plugin called Smush. So if you upload an 8K image, it's just going to smush it down to 4K. You won't even realize it. It won't tell you that you couldn't upload it. It'll just smush it down. So you don't have to worry about it. You just take your images, drag and drop them. A lot of times I'll just I'll highlight my images, drag them, just copy them, bam, upload them, good to go. Once you have them uploaded, if you remember to do this, but if you don't, it's not a big deal, I'll take care of it. I like to copy the title into the alt text in the description. So that way it helps with search engines finding information and maybe helping us rank a little bit better in search engine results. So you can see here, I just did the same thing. You'll notice that I copy the alt text and description across multiple images though. Don't make it too complicated. I don't know if it's going to make a huge difference, so I'm not too worried about it. So once you add your media, then you can go back to your article and let me find it real quick. And I'll start middle mouse clicking it so I can just keep jumping back. So you can do the traditional way to add media, sort of like what I did here with these two packaging images. I figured we didn't need a slideshow because there's only 2 of them, so I just did 2 thumbnail images. It's just packaging. And for that, you do your traditional add media, click the image, and then as usual, you can do the link to media file. You can set the size, large, medium, so on and so forth, all that jazz. So like if I go and edit these, you'll see that I've got it set to none on the alignment. I did a medium size so it fit in the formatting I want. Make sure it does link to media file just so that our light screen add-on will find the image. But unless you're actually linking it to an external website, just if you want people to make the image larger, make sure it links to media file. Now, the other thing I've got on the site is galleries, and for that we need to do something a little different. So once again, make sure you've uploaded your files to media first. And so you'll see here that everything's uploaded. Then what we're going to do to add galleries is we're going to go to this add-on called Photo Gallery. So if you just click on that or add galleries images, it'll take you to the same place. And you're going to see this screen pop up. Now, what you'll do is you'll go add new. Now I've pretty well auto set these. When you go to, so first off you'll set a title. So I'm just going to say test 2 on this because I believe I already have a test one. And then what you can do is you don't want to add images. If you add images, it actually uploads the images to the Photo Gallery add-on itself, and then you have to, it's a little more confusing. So to keep everything simple and all the images in the same place, just click on Import from Media Library. Then all you've got to do is click on the images you want to import. So for instance here I had a bunch of different lighting profiles for the software and showing different features of it. That's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 8 images there. That's a lot of images to put on thumbnails. So you start with the image you want to show first in the slideshow and then hold down Control and just click all the other ones. And voila! Select all 8 images. If I don't like that order, like let's say, oh man, I had a couple of these things that were out of order and I need to select them in the order that I want them to show, then just same thing, just Control and then select them in the order. So it's like, okay, I wanted this one first and then I'm going to go this one second, then this one third, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and then 8th. And it will put those in the order. So you click on Insert down here in the right hand corner and those images will all be in place. Now, when you see it though, you're going to see the thing that you wanted up to show first is here at the bottom, and it's going to show the one last in the top here, and you're going to see this number 1, 2, 3, 4, and you're going to think, oh crap, don't worry about it. There's nothing there. That's perfectly good. Your first image should show up at the bottom. Your last image should be here at the top. So once you do this, all you have to do is publish, and you've got the gallery ready to insert into the post. So now we can go back to our post. Now, of course, I've had it here in the closer look. So if I hit enter and I'm all like, hey, I know, I'm going to go ahead and add the photo gallery. So here we go. Click that, insert photo. All you have to do to insert the gallery, and it'll automatically be formatted to what all the galleries are for the site, just click on slideshow here and then drop down. And you've got a whole list of things to scroll through. They go in alphabetical order. Just click on the one that you just made. So for instance, there we go, test 2, I just made it, and say insert into post. So there we go, I have my gallery there. If I preview this change, come down here, there's our closer look, and yeah, here's the original gallery that I had. Here's the original gallery I had that was just the 3 images, and of course I've got the light box thing that will bring it up to the big size. Here's the test one that I just put in, And so there's arrows that people can click through so they can see the various different images. But if they are just sitting here on the page, then this will kind of scroll through the images automatically by itself. So that's all it takes to add images to this review. Alrighty, let's go ahead now and look through some of these other steps on the side. Categories is very simple. You should only ever have 2 categories. So one of your categories should either be review, a guide, or news. We don't have a guide tab yet because we don't have a ton of guides on our site yet because it's still pretty new. But obviously review and news is kind of a big thing, so there's a lot of those. So, you know, depending on what it is, if it's a review, click review. If it's news, click review. If it's a guide, click guide. And then check off one of these hardware parts. So now normally I like to make the part the primary. I kind of missed that on this first time, but it doesn't really make a difference. So this is RAM and it's a review. If you're looking at like monitors, keyboards, mice, audio stuff, that's all going to just be under peripheral. And then, of course, I've got motherboard, CPU, graphics cards. I think it's fairly self-explanatory, but, you know, as far as my reviewers, writers are concerned, just let me know, and I can add something or just say throw it in this category if you're not for sure on it. Tags are still... They're not like unimportant, but search engines have put way less importance on tags than the other things. So they still want them there. So just put some basic, you know, tags. Don't overthink it. I like to put hardware hounds in there just because that relates it to our site. But DDR4, RAM, review, that's the company name. That's the product model name. They just call this RAM's kit, the RGB kit. So it's pretty straightforward. I don't put a ton of tags in there because they're not super important. Don't forget to set your featured image. You don't have to worry about sizes or anything too much. Just make sure it's a full-sized image. The site will pretty well auto change the size on its own and do good for that. That's all you have to do on the side there, and you're good to go. Now, we've got these 2 check boxes here. We've got readability and SEO, and they both say good. That is the goal. We want both of these to say good. And so in order to do that, when you get to the bottom of the, before we get there, just really quick a side note, we don't have award logos just yet, so this is something I did, but feel free to do whatever works with your style. Also, these product links, don't worry about that. I will edit those in because I have to use affiliate links, and so I actually have to personally make these. So you don't have to worry about adding any product links. Just put whatever kind of conclusion you want, and however you feel to do that, we will get award logos. All right, so here is our SEO add-on. Basically, the only thing you'll have to really do is the slug, the SEO title, they all take care of themselves. This description would be the only thing. You can type in a meta description for what shows. So like when somebody sees our link on Google, there it is. There's the meta description. So pretty straightforward, not very complicated. They do, though, want to have a focus key phrase. So this is Viper RGB. They want the focus key phrase to show up in the title and in the meta description. So if you can just remember that. If not, that's something I can pretty easily take care of in post. Readability analysis. This thing's going to tell you where the problems are. I'm using enough active voice, but there is some passive voice. If I want to see where I'm using passive voice, all I have to do is click this little eyeball, and it'll actually highlight. There we go. There's a sentence where I used passive voice. I can try to change that sentence up and get that readability score. Now I'm OCD. I tend to try to make all of these green, but you don't have to do that. If you just get enough of them green, then this thing here, readability, will say good, and we're good. And if there's something I feel like I want to change, I might do it in editing, but I'm not going to be that picky about it. I just mainly want to see the overall score say good. These will help you get there. When you click on here, focus key phrase, you can set that. Typically, you probably want to set that to a product number or the name of the product that you're reviewing or covering in news. And same thing here. So as you can see, there's this key phrase in the subheading. You probably want me to use it in more than one subheading, but overall, I have a lot of greens, which means my SEO is good. So that's all we care about. It doesn't matter if all of these are green. What matters is if this one's green. So if those are things that you can do before you send it to me to edit, that's hugely helpful, and then I can go from there. Finally, On this SEO add-on, there's one more thing. There's this little thing called Cornerstone Content. If it's a review article, go ahead and turn it on. We want the reviews to be our cornerstone, news and guides. We're going to leave it off. So that way we can put the emphasis on the things that typically the readers put emphasis on as well. But yeah, once you've gotten through just checking this readability, focus key phrase, and that meta description, and if you miss it, it's not really a huge deal because I can pretty well go through and edit some of those things too. But yeah, so that's it. That's all there is to the site. Once you've gotten through all that, you've got your review up, you've gotten the galleries in, you got the headings, then all you need to do, of course this is published, but if you go here to edit, you can do pending review. And so just set it to pending review, send me an email, let me know, and I will edit it and get it published. All right, guys, I hope this is a helpful guide. I hope it answers your questions. Of course, if you are out there and just have some questions, I can try to help in the comments below. And of course, if you're one of my writers, just feel free to shoot me an email and I can try to help out there as well. I'll catch you later.